I'm going to say something that might offend you. The reason you're not where you want to be isn't because life is unfair. It's because you're acting like someone who doesn't deserve to be there. You're acting like someone who settles, someone who makes excuses, someone who quits when things get difficult. You're acting like someone who waits for opportunities instead of creating them. You're acting like someone who talks about what they're going to do instead of someone who does what they say. Market doesn't care about your potential. The world doesn't care about your dreams. People don't care about your excuses. They only care about what you deliver. And what you deliver is determined by how you act, not how you feel. Let me tell you something that might change the way you think about success forever. Most people have it completely backwards. They think they need to become successful first, then they'll start acting like a winner. But here's what I've learned after decades of studying human behavior and success. You must act like a winner long before you become one. See, there's a difference between being a winner and acting like one, and that difference is what separates those who make it from those who don't. The person who waits to feel successful before acting successful will wait forever. But the person who starts acting like a winner today, even when their bank account says otherwise, even when their circumstances look bleak, that person has already started the journey to real success. I remember when I was 25 years old, broke, and my life was a mess. I had pennies in my pocket and bills I couldn't pay. But I met a man who changed my life, and he told me something that stuck with me forever. He said, "Jim, if you want to be successful, you need to start acting like the person you want to become, not like the person you are right now." First, I thought he was crazy. How can you act like something you're not? Isn't that being fake? But then he explained it to me in a way that made perfect sense. He said, "Jim, every winner started as a non-winner. Every successful person started unsuccessful. The only difference is that winners started acting like winners before they had the results to prove it." You see, success isn't something that happens to you. Success is something you become, and you become successful by thinking like successful people. Think by acting like successful people act, by developing the habits that successful people have developed. But here's the key. You don't wait until you feel like it. You don't wait until you have the money, the recognition, or the approval of others. You start right now, right where you are, with what you have. Most people live their lives in reverse. They think, when I get the promotion, then I'll dress better. When I make more money, then I'll invest in my education. When I lose weight, then I'll feel confident. But winners think differently. They say, I'll dress like the person who deserves the promotion. I'll invest in my education so I can make more money. I'll act confident so I can develop the discipline to lose weight. This isn't about pretending or being someone you're not. This is about becoming who you're capable of being. This is about recognizing that the person you are today is not the person you have to remain. You have the power to change, to grow, to become better, but it starts with acting like the person you want to become. The difference between a winner and a loser isn't talent, luck, or circumstances. The difference is in their thinking. Winners think differently about problems, opportunities, setbacks, and possibilities. When a winner faces a challenge, they ask, how can I solve this? When a loser faces the same challenge, they ask, why does this always happen to me? Same situation, different thinking, different results. When a winner makes a mistake, they think, what can I learn from this? When a loser makes a mistake, they think, I'm such a failure. The winner uses mistakes as stepping stones. The loser uses mistakes as proof that they should give up. Which way of thinking do you think leads to better results? Winners have developed what I call success thinking. They've trained their minds to look for solutions instead of focusing on problems. They've learned to see opportunities where others see obstacles. They've developed the habit of asking better questions, which leads to better answers, which leads to better results. But here's what most people don't understand. You don't develop winner thinking by accident. You develop it by practice. You develop it by consciously choosing to think like a winner, even when you don't feel like one. You develop it by acting like a winner, even when your current results don't reflect it yet. Let me give you an example. Two people lose their jobs on the same day. Person A thinks, "This is terrible. The economy is bad. Nobody's hiring. I'll probably be unemployed for months." Person B thinks, "This is an opportunity. Now I can find something better. I'll use this time to improve my skills and find the right position." Same situation, different thinking. Who do you think will find a job faster? The winner doesn't wait for perfect conditions. The winner doesn't wait to feel motivated. The winner acts like a winner, regardless of circumstances. They dress well, even when they don't have much money. They speak with confidence even when they feel uncertain. They treat people with respect, even when they're not getting respect back. They invest in their education even when money is tight. They maintain high standards even when no one is watching. This is what separates winners from everyone else. Winners understand that success is an inside job. They know that external results are simply a reflection of internal beliefs and actions. Change the inside and the outside will follow. But most people try to change the outside first and wonder why nothing really changes. Winning like a winner means developing winner habits. Winners have morning routines that set them up for success. They read books that expand their minds. They exercise to maintain their energy. They plan their days instead of just reacting to whatever happens. They set goals and review them regularly. They associate with other people who are growing and improving. Winners also think differently about money. While others complain about not having enough, winners study how money works. They learn about investing, saving, and creating multiple streams of income. They don't just work for money, they make money work for them, but they started thinking this way before they had money to invest. Winners think differently about relationships. They don't wait for others to be kind to them, they choose to be kind first. They don't wait for others to be honest with them, they choose to be honest first. They understand that you get back what you put out, but you have to put it out first. When you start acting like a winner, something interesting happens. Your behavior begins to change your beliefs about yourself. When you dress well, you feel more confident. When you speak with authority, others begin to listen. When you carry yourself with dignity, others treat you with respect. Your actions create a feedback loop that reinforces your new identity. But here's the important part. You have to be consistent. You can't act like a winner on Monday and like a victim on Tuesday. You can't have high standards at work and low standards at home. Winners are consistent. They've made being their best self a way of life, not just something they do when they feel like it. I've watched thousands of people transform their lives by applying this principle. I've seen people go from broke to wealthy, from unknown to influential, from failing to succeeding, and in every case, the transformation started with a decision to act like the person they wanted to become long before they became that person. One of my students was a janitor who dreamed of starting his own business. Instead of waiting until he had money or connections, he started acting like a business owner. He read business books during his lunch breaks. He started a small side business, cleaning offices on weekends. He dressed better, even though he was still mopping floors. He talked to successful business owners and asked them questions. He saved every penny he could and reinvested it in his education and his business. Within 3 years, his side business had grown so much that he quit his janitorial job. Within 5 years, he owned a successful cleaning company with multiple employees. Within 10 years, he had expanded into commercial real estate. The transformation didn't happen overnight, but it started the day he decided to act like a business owner instead of just dreaming about becoming one. Acting like a winner also means taking responsibility for your results. Winners don't blame others for their problems. They don't make excuses for their failures. They don't wait for someone else to change their circumstances. They understand that they are responsible for their own success or failure. When something goes wrong in a winner's life, they ask, what's my responsibility in this situation? What could I have done differently? What can I learn from this experience? This kind of thinking puts them in control of their future because they focus on what they can change rather than what they can't. Winners also understand the power of persistence. They know that success rarely happens quickly or easily. They're prepared for setbacks, rejections, and failures because they understand these are part of the process. When others give up, winners keep going. When others complain, winners adjust their strategy and try again. But persistence without improvement is just stubbornness. Winners are persistent, but they're also flexible. They're willing to change their approach when something isn't working. They learn from their mistakes and the mistakes of others. They're always looking for ways to do things better, faster, or more efficiently. Acting like a winner means setting high standards for yourself and refusing to lower them, even when it's difficult. Most people lower their standards to match their current circumstances. Winners raise their performance to match their standards. They understand that standards are what separate average from excellent. If your standard is to always be on time, you'll find a way to be on time even when traffic is bad. If your standard is to always do quality work, you'll find a way to do quality work even when you're busy. If your standard is to treat people with respect, you'll find a way to be respectful, even when others are rude to you. Winners also understand the importance of personal development. They invest in themselves consistently. They read books, attend seminars, listen to educational programs, and seek out mentors. They understand that to earn more, they must become more. But here's what's interesting. Winners started investing in themselves before they could afford to. They bought books instead of beer. They attended seminars instead of going to parties. They chose education over entertainment. They understood that the investment in themselves would pay dividends for the rest of their lives. When you act like a winner, you start attracting different opportunities. People notice when someone carries themselves with confidence and competence. Opportunities come to those who are prepared and ready, but you have to be acting like a winner before the opportunities arrive, not after. I've noticed that successful people seem to be lucky. They're always in the right place at the right time. They always seem to meet the right people. But when you look closer, you realize it's not luck at all. They've positioned themselves to recognize and take advantage of opportunities. They've developed the skills and mindset that attract success. The same opportunities that come to successful people are available to everyone else. The difference is that successful people are ready for them. They've been acting like winners, preparing for success long before success arrives. This preparation isn't just about skills and knowledge, though those are important. It's also about developing the character and integrity that success requires. Winners understand that success without character is temporary. They know that reputation is built over years, but can be destroyed in minutes. Acting like a winner means being honest in your dealings. Even when dishonesty might be more profitable in the short term, it means keeping your word. Even when it's inconvenient, it means treating everyone with respect, regardless of their position or status. It means doing the right thing, even when no one is watching. Character is what allows you to sustain success once you achieve it. Skills can get you to the top, but character keeps you there. Winners understand this, so they work on their character as much as they work on their abilities. As you begin to act like a winner consistently, something magical happens. The act becomes reality. The behavior becomes belief. The external performance becomes internal identity. You stop acting like a winner and start being one. This transformation doesn't happen overnight. It's a gradual process that requires patience and persistence. Some days will be easier than others. Some days you'll feel like giving up. But if you stick with it, if you keep acting like the person you want to become, you'll eventually become that person. The world needs more winners. It needs more people who take responsibility, who persist through difficulties, who maintain high standards, who treat others with respect. When you decide to act like a winner, you're not just changing your own life. You're setting an example for others. You're showing them what's possible. Your family needs you to be a winner. Your community needs you to be a winner. The world needs you to be a winner, but it starts with a decision. It starts with choosing to act like a winner. Starting today, starting right now. Don't wait for perfect conditions. Don't wait until you feel ready. Don't wait for someone else to give you permission. Start acting like a winner today and watch how your life begins to change. The person you want to become is waiting for you to start acting like them. Success is not something you pursue. Success is something you attract by becoming an attractive person, and you become attractive by acting like the person others want to follow, want to do business with, want to be around. Act like a winner, and you attract winning opportunities, winning relationships, and winning results. But let me tell you about the compound effect of acting like a winner. Just like money compounds, when you invest it wisely, your winner behaviors compound over time. Each day you act like a winner, you're making a deposit in your success account. Each day you choose winner thoughts over loser thoughts, you're strengthening your success muscle. I've seen people transform their entire lives in just 1 year by consistently acting like winners. Not because they had some special talent or lucky break, but because they understood that small, consistent actions create extraordinary results over time. They didn't try to change everything at once, they just started acting like winners in small ways. Every single day, think about it this way. If you improve just 1% each day in 1 year, you'll be 37 times better than when you start. But if you get 1% worse each day in 1 year, you'll be down to almost zero. The difference between success and failure isn't dramatic. It's the small choices you make every single day. Winners understand this principle. They know that success is not about making one big decision. It's about making thousands of small decisions that align with who they want to become. They choose to wake up early instead of hitting the snooze button. They choose to read instead of watching television. They choose to exercise instead of making excuses. They choose to save money instead of spending everything they earn. These might seem like small choices, but they're not. These small choices are what create your destiny. The person who consistently makes winner choices becomes a winner. The person who consistently makes loser choices becomes a loser. It's that simple, and it's that profound. Let me share something else I've learned about acting like a winner. Winners have what I call emotional discipline. They don't let their emotions dictate their actions. They feel fear, but they act with courage. They feel discouraged, but they persist anyway. They feel like quitting, but they keep going. They understand that emotions are temporary, but the results of their actions are permanent. Most people are controlled by their emotions. When they feel good, they work hard. When they feel bad, they make excuses. When they feel motivated, they set goals. When they feel unmotivated, they quit. But winners have learned to act independent of their emotions. They do what needs to be done, regardless of how they feel. This emotional discipline is one of the most important skills you can develop. It's what allows you to act like a winner. Even when you don't feel like one, it's what enables you to keep going when others quit. It's what separates professionals from amateurs. Winners also understand the power of environment. They know that you become like the people you spend time with. If you want to act like a winner, you need to surround yourself with winners. You need to read books by winners, listen to programs by winners, and spend time with people who are winning in life. But here's what most people don't realize. You don't have to wait for winners to invite you into their circle. You can start associating with winners today by reading their books, studying their methods, and applying their principles. Every successful person has left a trail of wisdom that you can follow. When I was starting out, I couldn't afford to hire the best mentors or attend expensive seminars, but I could afford books. I could afford to listen to educational programs. I could afford to study successful people from a distance. And that's exactly what I did. I became a student of success long before I became successful. You can do the same thing. Start learning from winners today. Study their habits, their thinking patterns, their strategies. Model what they do. Apply what they teach. Acting like a winner means learning from winners. And the best education is available to anyone who's willing to seek it out. Another crucial aspect of acting like a winner is learning to delay gratification. Winners are willing to sacrifice what they want now for what they want most. They understand that everything worthwhile requires time and effort. They're willing to plant seeds today that they won't harvest for months or even years. Most people want instant results. They want success without struggle, harvest without planting, rewards without work. But winners understand that life doesn't work that way. They're willing to do the work now and wait for the results later. They understand that the price of success must be paid in advance. This willingness to delay gratification shows up in every area of a winner's life. They save money instead of spending it all. They invest time in education instead of entertainment. They build relationships instead of just using people. They focus on long-term results instead of short-term pleasures. Winners also understand the importance of continuous improvement. They're never satisfied with good enough. They're always looking for ways to get better, to do more, to serve others at a higher level. They understand that in a changing world, if you're not getting better, you're getting worse. This commitment to improvement means winners are always learning, always growing, always challenging themselves. They read books that stretch their thinking. They take on projects that require them to develop new skills. They set goals that force them to become more than they currently are. But improvement without implementation is worthless. Winners don't just learn, they apply what they learn. They don't just attend seminars, they implement what they discover. They don't just read books, they change their behavior based on what they read. This is where most people fail. They consume information, but never transform it into results. They learn but never apply. They know but never do. Winners bridge the gap between learning and doing. They turn knowledge into action and action into results. Acting like a winner also means taking care of your health and energy. Winners understand that success requires sustained effort over time. You can't maintain high performance if you don't maintain your physical and mental health. Winners exercise regularly, eat well, get enough sleep, and manage their stress. They don't see health as separate from success. They see it as the foundation of success. They understand that if you don't have your health, you don't have anything. They invest in their health the same way they invest in their education or their business. Winners also understand the power of giving. They know that life is not just about getting, it's about giving. They look for ways to add value to other people's lives. They share their knowledge, their resources, their time. They understand that the more you give, the more you receive. But they don't give to get. They give because it's the right thing to do. They give because they understand that success without significance is empty. They give because they want to make a difference in the world. This spirit of giving attracts opportunities and relationships that wouldn't be available otherwise. People want to do business with givers. They want to help givers succeed. They want to be around people who add value to their lives. As you begin to act like a winner consistently, you'll notice that your standards naturally rise. Things that you used to accept become unacceptable. Behaviors that you used to tolerate become intolerable. Results that you used to settle for become insufficient. This rise in standards is natural and necessary. As you grow, your tolerance for mediocrity decreases. As you improve, your expectations increase. This isn't about becoming arrogant or demanding. It's about refusing to settle for less than your best. Winners don't lower their standards to match their current situation. They raise their performance to match their standards. This creates a continuous cycle of improvement that leads to extraordinary results over time. Final thing I want to share with you about like a winner is this: it's never too late to start, but it's always too late to wait. Whether you're 20 or 60, whether you're just starting out or starting over, you can begin acting like a winner today. Remember, every master was once a beginner, every expert was once an amateur, every winner was once a quitter who decided to try one more time. The difference between those who make it and those who don't isn't ability, background, or luck. It's the decision to act like who they want to become, starting right where they are. Your past doesn't determine your future unless you let it. Your current circumstances don't define your potential unless you accept them as permanent. Your present situation is just your starting point, not your final destination. The choice is yours. You can keep waiting for success to find you, or you can start acting like the successful person you're capable of becoming. The difference between where you are now and where you want to be is the person you decide to become today. Act like a winner before you are one, and soon you won't be acting anymore. You'll simply be what you practice becoming. That's the power of this principle. That's the secret of every person who has ever achieved anything significant. They acted like winners before they became winners. Now it's your turn. The stage is set. The opportunity is before you. The only question is, are you ready to start acting like the winner you were meant to be?